Hello and welcome to a non-traditional yin for your lower back class. I've got a bath towel. What I'm doing right here is I'm rolling it up. If you are a little bit stiffer, a little bit less flexible, get a bath towel or a blanket or something that you can use. You'll be able to put it behind your knees. I'm about to show you right here how to do that. You'll just take it right behind your knees, right at the bend, as close as you can get it. And then you can sit back from there. A little bit thicker blanket will go a long ways for helping you out. Put a block underneath your forehead. You can just relax back in your child's pose like that. Or you can take a pillow. This is a yoga pillow, but you can get a regular pillow, put it underneath you there to support you too. So if your hips are up higher, you can just lay down, relax. These are your tools, your props, as we call them in yoga. So I invite you to get those by your side, have those handy. I'll show you a little bit and I'll tell you definitely intermittently how to use those. Welcome to your practice today. We're going to start or be more or less be using 3-minute holds today, and it's really for lower back. And I can't tell you, like, I just finished this practice and man, my back feels amazing. So grateful for this practice. Let's get started. Start in your child's pose. So I just showed you your props. If you need them, put them under your knees. Lay on your pillow, get a block, whatever you need, and just lay back. Take your big toes to touch your thighs a little bit wider than your torso, and lay back. I'm not going to do a lot of talking during this, but mostly what I want you to focus on is breathing in and breathing out. If you want to get or use this as a daily practice, you can use probably the first 12 to 20 minutes on a daily basis. And you can pick and choose these poses, but I would definitely recommend the first 4 that I use here for your daily practice for our lifestyles, the ones that we sit and eat, and a lot of seated stuff basically. So just invite you into that. So take a big giant breath in, full big breath out. You can set your personal intention here. That is something to be focused on, something to be about. I invite you to turn up your own music, whatever you like to listen to chill out, that'll help you relax, whether it's praise music, whether it's a flute, whether it's guitar, or whatever it is for you. You want to stretch your latissimus dorsi, your back, and this you can bring your elbows closer to your head and just relax your arms straight. Put your pinkies together, or you can even, to make it a little bit bigger, a little bit deeper, you can bend your elbows, take your hands back, your thumbs back toward your upper back, your spine. Knowing that this practice is all about staying, so setting yourself up in a way that you can find stillness and stay in the pose. So you're not going to that place that is hurt where you can't breathe. You're really trying to find that place that you can be still and focus on every breath in and every breath out. Just a couple more rounds of breath here. Then we're going to move into what's called hero's pose. So if you know it, you can go right into your hero's pose, get a start on that. I'm going to show you a couple of ways here to support yourself in hero's pose. You can put your blanket, your towel right behind the bend of your knees and sit back. That may be enough for you. If you're like, man, my knees hurt more than that, Brad, I get that. Mine did too a couple of years ago. You can get a bigger blanket, pillow, block, just build a seat that you can sit on. can even put a blanket under your own knees between your yoga mat or your bed or whatever you have to have. So building a place that you can have a successful practice, because like speaking from personal experience, when I first started this, my knees hurt, my hips hurt, my low back hurt, and I'm just I'll say this: like, I started this yin practice in about 2015, and my entire body has dramatically changed. So in your hero's pose, if you want to start to lay back, you can lay back if you like. I am unable to go to the floor myself, so I build a position that with a pillow and a block that I can lay back on. You can turn your palms to face up, let your shoulders open up. It's a great opening for your heart, your chest. We work on our computer, we drive, we type, we text. A whole lot of closed shoulders, closed chest posturing. This is a way to open up the front body. If you'd like, you can stretch your arms overhead. If you're flat on the floor, it's not as comfortable if you're up in the air like I am, so it can be a lot. But you can do it if you like. Just kind of play with how you allow yourself to open. Take a big full breath in. A giant Just try to relax into whatever position you've chosen that works for your body right now, today. Another couple of breaths in and out fully. Just breathe in all the way down into your toes, all the way out from your feet to the top of your head. Beginning to release, starting to make your way onto your hands and knees, onto all fours. Just do a few cat-cows, some great movement for your low back, your upper back, the thoracic, the lumbar. Breath in, looking up. Breath out, rounding, just pressing and opening. Breath in and breath out. Just as much movement of your spine, your hips, your shoulders as you can promote in this. Great for spinal stenosis or any kind of arthritic type spinal problems. So we're going to move into a half pigeon. I'm showing you here, right here, that you can do this on your back. You can do this. We can put your foot that's forward on a wall. If there were a wall in front of me, imagine my right foot on a wall. You can reach between your legs and pull your knee back if you're not able to get to a wall. Just do this on your back. You can put a block underneath your head if your head's floating off the floor, or just a traditional half pigeon. You can use a block here under your right hip, or block under your left hip, or under your right thigh. So we're on the left side, half pigeon, either on your back or traditional. Showing you right there how to use it. or not. Up to you. Let go. You could also put it under your forehead. Big breath in. Open your mouth and don't be afraid to let out the sound. Really allows the mind-body connection, the parasympathetic nervous system to relax. Just trying to find as much stillness as possible. Another couple of rounds of breath. Just a little deeper, a little fuller. And then making your way out. Baddha Konasana. So you're seated, you're taking your feet together. You can be on a block right here if you need to. We're going to take some cat-cow-like movement right here, some spinal movement. Inhale, look up. Exhale, round. Chin to chest. Inhale, lift. Draw your shoulders back. And exhale, draw your shoulders to your ears. Breath in. Breath out. A little bit of movement. Some of these stillness poses. Can be seated on a block right here. And then the right side, half pigeon. You can lay on your back too. So if you just did this one on your back on your left side, or if you got something going on with your right hip and you need it to go on your back on your right side, no problem. No worries, just do it. Do what you need to do to find a place that you can let go. You can take a block or a pillow underneath your right glute or underneath your left thigh. Just how fluidly, how deeply, how slowly can you breathe? There's mindfulness in your breath. It's a God-given gift, I believe, to teach yourself how to calm, especially in what we're going through now with the COVID-19 and all that's going on, the uncertainty, which seems more uncertain now than in the past, but really, to me, it's like everything's uncertain. And it's what we choose to put our focus on. Love, kindness, community, Or we can get focused on fear and lack, scarcity, which leads to, at least for me, a place of the lack of ease, which is a place of disease. Another deep, full round of breath. And you can start to let go, start to come up. Just going to come to laying down on your belly. Just let everything go flat. You can have your forehead center on the floor. Bend your knees, and we're just going to take a little spinal movement this way. Take your knees to the left, to the right, to the left, to the right, back and forth, side to side. Just giving some needed fluid between the vertebrae. Okay, we're coming into Sphinx pose. So you can just come right up onto your forearms. I'm putting my arms on a pillow here to go a little bit higher. I know for a fact a couple of years ago this was impossible for me. I can barely get up on my forearms. So our bodies will change, your body will change. So if it doesn't feel comfortable to come on a additional block or additional pillow right now, don't do it. Maybe you're just kind of almost just laying flat, and that's okay. Just encourage your shoulders down and away from your ears. You can put your forehead on a block right here if you're close to the floor. Or just allow your eyes to close and focus on your breath. Breathing in, breathing out. Another full round of breath in, a little deeper, a little fuller. You can start to release. You're going to do a little shoulder stretch here. So you can do one arm at a time. You can thread your left arm underneath, or your right arm underneath your left. Just come down. You would stretch your arm that's not underneath just straight overhead. Or if you, hey, like I got room for both of my shoulders in this, take a block right up against your forehead, put one arm under, the opposite arm under, and put your forehead center on a block. It can be on the low height, or maybe you want to raise it up on to the medium height, or it may want to be on the high height. Just decide what height you want your block on. And then let go. Notice if you're gripping, protecting, where you can soften. You should feel this in your shoulders. Let go. Big full round of breath in. Big giant If you've got one arm under, just switch arms. If you got both arms under, switch which one's in front. And come right back into your stillness practice, your yin practice, your letting go practice. One more full breath in. One more big giant then start to release. Going to make your way kind of on the hands and knees, more or less. Kind of wiggle your knees a little further back. I'm just going to take some big hip circles. So you're motioning your hips forward, toward your heels, off your mat to the side. Just giant circular motion. Just nourishing or the discs, the spine, creating some health by movement. Motion is lotion. Okay, we're going to be coming into prayer pose or fire toe. So you're going to curl your toes under. heels or toes more or less together. You can sit back, or if you need a little more support, you can lean forward like I'm doing right here. Take your hands on blocks. But the more you can, start to sit right, your hips over your heels, shoulders over your hips, ears over your shoulders. Then we're going to go into some breath work here. It's called alternate nostril breathing. So you're going to use your first two fingers right at your forehead center. Stick your thumb out. That's going to cover your right side of your nose. Pinky finger and ring finger are going to do your left side of your nose. Take a big inhale. Huge exhale. Cover your left side of the nose and then breathe in through the right. Cover the right and breathe out through the left. Back in through the left. Cover the left and breathe out through the right. Back in through the right. Covering the right and breathing out through the left. Back in through the left. Covering and breathing out through the right. Back in through the right. And out through the left. In through the left. Covering and breathing out through the right. Just continue with this breath work. Alternate nostril breathing. Wherever you are, 2 more full rounds. In through the right, covering and out to the left. Back into the left. And out to the right. Back into the right. Out to the left. Back into the left. Back out to the right. Just release. Stay in your fire toes, your prayer toes. Just noticing. Okay, so you can be done here for the day, or you can continue. You can come back here tomorrow, start here. We're going to go into a plank. So coming into a forearm plank, forearms down, hips more or less as high as your shoulders, but squeeze your belly. Try to tuck your pelvis. I've got what's called an anterior pelvic tilt, which means I've got tight psoases, which kind of pulls my pelvis down in the front, up in the back. So I have to really fight that. Lots of good stretching for me. But you're here in this forearm plank, just breathing. If you need to drop your knees down, by all means drop them. But if you drop them, can you come back and just stay a few breaths and then maybe drop again? Or maybe go a full minute with your knees up and then maybe drop them down for 10 seconds and lift them back up. Just play your personal edge here. That's the invitation. I love the words of Mr. Iyengar, one of the famous yoga teachers. He says that the yoga starts the moment, really, that you want to come out of the pose. That's when the work begins. So when you want to come out of the pose, can you stay for another full round of breath? And then maybe possibly another full round of breath. start to play your edge. Now, so many people are like, oh, yoga's about ease and stillness and blah, blah, blah. And for me, it's really about finding my edge, pressing into places that really aren't my comfort zone, aren't in my wheelhouse, growing my circle of comforts by exploring the edges or the outer limits of what I consider to be comfortable. Focus on your breath. Stay with it, just like COVID-19, the storm that we're in right now. Uh, this too shall pass. Okay, release. Come on up, hero's pose. We're going to take some movement here. Just take maybe your hands behind your back, interlace. Open up your shoulders, maybe some cat-cows. Just inhale, opening what feels good in your body. Just some movement of your spine. Okay, we're going to make our way into a yogi squat. So if you can't do yogi squat, come onto your back, come into a happy baby. If you don't know what happy baby is, Google it. But another way to yogi squat is put a block right underneath your sit bone. Sit on that. Any height that will do. So you can need to lower it if you need to lower it. Or put a pillow or whatever, blanket underneath it. Or you could even put pillow blanket underneath your heels. I'm not showing that, but if you put that rounded towel underneath my heels, I could put my heels on that. That would make it a little more comfortable. Okay, yogi squat. Back into your breath. Another deep, full breath in. Big giant. If you're still in it, congratulations. Intense pose for the length of time. Cat-cow's right here, so stretch, round, bend. Inhale, open, look up, open, round. Some movement. Okay, come out of. We're going into a side-facing wide leg fold. So options for the tighter people: sit on a block. Number one, so you can be on your sit bones. Put a blanket underneath your knees if you got tight hamstrings. Put bolster, a pillow, whatever you need under your knees. So lengthen, or so you don't have to open your hamstrings quite as much. If you're able, you can sit on the ground. If you can sit on your sit bones, if you can feel your sit bones underneath you, you can even still put a blanket underneath your knees here if you have really tight hamstrings, but you're able to sit. You can put your hands behind you if you need to put your hands behind you, but start to lean forward. Use a block or two blocks, a pillow, something to put your forehead on. I need two blocks right here for me right in this moment. I'm not quite there. I only have one block. So nice big hamstring opener, low back opener, all kinds of good things. Find your rhythm of your breath. See if you can let go and go a little deeper. Take in a big, full breath, as deep as you can. Open up your mouth and let out a big, full. Just choosing to stay. Another couple rounds of breath. Deep and free. Last full round. And releasing. Coming up. You're going to come toward the top of your mat, your right shin bone across the front of your mat, your back shin parallel with your mat, and just lean over toward your right foot. Just going to be here for a little bit, just stretching out your hips. Just kind of more of an active stretch versus a yin stretch. So really stretching, breathing, wiggle your toes. We're going to put a little bit of twist on this. And so you're just going to take your right elbow onto your right foot and just press and lift your chest. Or if you like, heck no, I can't do that, Brad, just put your hand on the ground, twist toward the left. Open up, lift up, squeeze your belly. Just come up. I'm just going to lift the left knee up and down, up and down, up and down, 5 times. And then switch. Take your left shin bone across your mat, right shin bone parallel with your mat, going back the opposite direction, and then your forehead right at your left foot. Still, again, we're kind of squeezing the belly, kind of an active stretch, different than kind of the yin stretching. It's kind of a short intermission of the letting go, more into the action of breathing, squeezing, opening. And we're going to put a little twist as well on this side. So you can come up, take your left elbow to the left foot, or you can put your left hand on the floor. You're twisting to the right. Pressing down, squeezing in, lifting up. Okay, release that. Or actually lifting the right thigh 5 times. Up and down. Up and down. Up and down. Little glute medius activation. Come back. We're going to take an active pose here, a more strengthening pose here. It's a down dog. So feet about shoulder width apart. If you don't do down dog, hands a little bit wider than your shoulders. Just come into a still down dog. Spread your fingers out. Stretch your toes out. And breathe. Just allow your head to sink toward the floor. Stretch out your hands. Try to get your whole palm on the floor. And keep a little bend in your knees. Just allowing your back side to open up. In these more active poses, focusing on your breath, just the fluid motion in and out. Last few rounds here, knowing that you're doing good things for yourself. Big, giant breath in. Big, shifting into a high plank. Drop your knees. You're going to come into a left side lizard. So you can step your left foot outside of your left thumb. Yeah, you can drop your back knee. You can come onto your forearms. If you need your pillow, put it under your forearms right here. You can put your pillow underneath your back knee, your blanket under your back knee, your towel under your back knee. Kind of roll onto the side edge, the knife's edge of your left foot, and let your left thigh hang out. You can stay up on your hands if you need to here, or you can be on your forearms, or you can drop blocks under your forearms, pillows under your forearms. Find a way to make this work. Big inhale. Full out. Coming up. You can take your left hand and grab your right foot. Just open up. Breathe. Put a little bend in your right elbow if you can. Put a little bend in your left elbow. Just a little bit of muscle activity here while we stretch, while we open. Find myself squirming a little bit in this one. Looking for that ease, looking for that stillness. It's not always easy. Giant breath in. Big and release. Just switching sides. So you're going to your right side lizard. Right foot outside of the right hand. Come onto your forearms again, or forearms on your block or your pillow. How fast can you let go and move right back into the practice of breathing? Big inhale. Big hug. Starting to come up, you're going to take your right hand to your left foot, if that's reachable. If it's not, just take a twist. Maybe look over your right thumb. Just kind of draw your shoulders toward the midline of your back, toward your spine. Open up. Not worried about what you look like. Just feeling what you feel. This one for me, especially on this left side, was so uncomfortable for me a few years ago. Like, close to what I would call painful. And simply glad that I stayed with it. Been doing it for more or less 5 years now. And so much has changed in my body, so much healing. What's available to you if you just simply stay? Giant breath in. Open up and let out a and release that. Going to move into frog. So frog, you can be done on your back against a wall if you like. Basically, it's a bunch of 90 degrees. So you're going to set if you're going to go onto the ground, you're going to take your knees out from your hips about 90 degrees, your ankles down from your knees about 90 degrees, and your feet are going to turn out about 90 degrees. If you're doing this, just imagine being on your back and up against a wall, creating the same thing. Hips more or less 90 degrees from your knees, ankles more or less 90 degrees from your knees, feet turning out from your ankles 90 degrees. You can put a block underneath your chest or a block under your forehead, but take your gaze to the right. Extend your arms out if you can. Put a little bit of neck twist in this too, so a little bit of neck opening. All the wiggling out, all the movement out. And if you can, start to settle. Okay, take your head, change directions. Just looking over the other shoulder. Breathing in and breathing out. Just choosing to stay. I know when I first started this practice that this pose I couldn't do it for 30 seconds without intense pain. I have to turn on my back. And knowing that that's okay. If you have to turn on your back, if you got intense pain, you can't stay, it's okay to change it, move, modify. And each day knowing that the body will start to respond, the body will start to open up, the body will start to heal from all that we've done to it. It's an amazing machine, a gift really from God. Big inhale. Giant. You can stay right where you are, or if you want to come up onto your forearms. Last few rounds of breath. Okay, come out of it. Hui. Make your way on to your back. Going to finish here with a couple of supine twists. Take your knees over to the right side. Look over your left shoulder. Your left shoulder should still be on the floor. If you need a block underneath your right thigh, do that if you're tighter. You're going to take this a little deeper. You can start to extend or straighten your left leg. Take your left foot with your right hand. You can take your right foot with your left hand. Or not. You choose. Letting go, moving to the other side. So you're going to take your knees right over your hips, drop them to the left. Look over your right shoulder. You can put a block underneath your left thigh, or your left hand on the back of your right thigh. Or if you like, you can straighten your right leg, take it with your left hand, take the left foot with the right hand. Just open up. Big inhale. Giant releasing. Bend your knees, grab your knees, big knee circles. Roll out your low back. Circles the other way. And release. Now take your feet about as wide as your mat, wiggle them, and then take your knees to the right. Look over your left, take your knees to the left, look over your right. More spinal movement. Good nourishment for your spine. Back and forth, side to side, knees right, knees left. Then we're going into a bridge, feet about as wide as your shoulders. Squeeze your belly, take your hips toward your heels, and lift your hips up. Take your hands underneath your back and then roll onto the edges of your shoulders, the side edges, or you can take your hands underneath your hips here. You can put a block underneath your hips here. They take some support. A little glute activation. I hear a lot of people say, don't fire your glutes here, and just know that that's not possible, that this is a glute major activation, that your glutes should fire here. So by pressing down, your glutes are firing. You do want to try to relax your hamstrings, is where you want to try to relax. And squeeze your glutes, squeeze your core. Open up your shoulders more. Kind of an active pose right here, strengthening pose. Staying with it. And then just release down, feet wide as your mat, knees over to the right. Take your right foot on the back of your left thigh and look over your left shoulder. Just a nice little hip stretch. Not going to be here that long. And then again, release. Take your knees over to the left. Take your left foot over the back of your right thigh, right knee. And look over your right shoulder. So your knees are both pointed to the left. Your left foot's on the top of your right thigh. And you're looking to the right. What a beautiful day. And release Supta Baddha Konasana. So you're laying back, soles of your feet together, knees wide. Just let go. All this hip work we've done, sink in. All this low back work, sink in. Just find a little stillness right here, a little ease. Okay, hug your knees up into your chest. Give a few knee circles here. Big torso circles, big knee circles. Nourishment. Think you're doing good things for your low back, your hips. Other way. Okay, start to make your way up to seated. You can sit cross-legged. You can sit on a block right here. You can sit in double pigeon if you like. I'm going to do a little breath work right here to end our practice. So you're sitting up cross-legged, Sukhasana. And we're going to do what's called box breathing or 4-part breath. So the way you do that is you're going to breathe in for the count of basically 4. You're going to hold the breath in for a count of basically 4. You're going to breathe out on the count of 4. And you're going to be without breath for the count of 4. I'll count you through that. Take a big breath in. Breathe out. And you're going to breathe in for the count of 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold breath out for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, breathe. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just continue on. So you're breathing in on the count of 1, 2, 3, 4. You're holding for 1, 2, 3, 4. And you're breathing out on the count of 1, 2, 3, 4. Holding out for 1, 2, 3, 4. And then just beginning again, breathing in for 1, 2, 3, 4. Switch whichever leg's on top or whichever leg's in front. It's an opportunity to switch that up. And then right back into the 4-part breathing. Channeling breath in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pausing for 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathing out for 1, 2, 3, 4. Pausing on the out breath for 1, 2, 3, 4. Repeat. Just pausing, feeling the effects. Staying here in your meditation as long as you like. May God bless and keep you. Have a great day, you guys. Namaste.